What's up, digital marketing agency owners? On today's video, I want to talk a little bit about a key strategy you can implement for your clients. I'm going to be talking about how to implement Google local service ads, also referred to as Google Guaranteed, on behalf of your clients to generate better results. So if you're either interested in learning how to add this to your service offering, or maybe just how to level up and kind of even take your service offering to the next level on these lines, you're going to want to watch this video. So, what's local service ads and why should you be implementing it on behalf of your clients? Pretty much in any market, within home services, within legal, within healthcare, anything that's service related. If you go to Google and you search, up at the very top, we've got the top 3 results, also kind of referred to as Google Guaranteed. It's called local service ads. You've probably seen it. You've probably thought, you know what, this is the WYSIWYG platform. I'm just going to let my clients handle that for themselves. And if you are, then you're leaving some opportunity for retention and or revenue on the table. And so I want to talk a little bit about where local service ads plays and kind of how you can think about you leveraging it on behalf of your clients and to get them results. I want to lead off by saying, if you're thinking, you know what, I do SEO, or I do pay-per-click, or I do Facebook ads, and I don't think I should really play with local service ads. I think that's something totally separate to what I do. I want to encourage you to kind of shift your thinking a little bit from I do X, Y, Z to I generate results for my clients, right? My objective as an agency owner isn't to just provide a service, it's to make them more money, right? And if that's what you're thinking, whatever my stack of services is, I want to think, what are the tools, what are the resources I can put in place to get more leads, more sales, more revenue generation for my clients? And if that's how you're thinking, then local service ads is something you should definitely have in your toolbox and something that you help them set up and optimize to generate better outcomes and better results, right? You're not just here to generate leads, you're here to generate revenue growth and sales. So nothing should be off the table that you could potentially bring to the mix to generate better results. So there's Google local services. If we type in plumber Philadelphia, you'll see local services or Google Guaranteed pops up right at the top. There is a Google tracked number there where when somebody picks up the phone and they call that number, it's going to ring to the client and Google's going to charge a per lead basis. Now that per lead varies based on service, based on area, and they are moving to a bit of a bid modifier where you can pay a little bit more than the competition to get more of those calls. There's a Google Guaranteed aspect, which consumers like. I mean, say, look, I'm searching on Google. Google gave me a couple of companies that they recommend, and if I use them, I know that I'm a little bit covered. If they screw me over, or if they mischarge me, I can get with Google and they'll take care of me. Google will actually refund some of the service fees, and so from a consumer perspective, it is an interesting and compelling value proposition. Within the listing itself, you've got the phone number, you can read like a little description, you can see the reviews if you were a customer. That's kind of how local service ads works. Talk about why it matters. We know in today's market, 87% of consumers go to Google when they're looking for service providers. 87%. And so out of all the marketing things you can do for your clients, there's nothing more powerful than directional marketing, where the customer's looking for what it is that they do, and we want to dominate that, right? With SEO, we want to come up number 1. With Google Ads, we want to show up at the top. With secondary directory listings, we want to be showing up in the search results. Now, if local service ads, and there's only 3 companies showing up at the top, we want to make sure our client is showing up in that result because, again, 87% of customers are using this when they're looking. It's absolutely the number 1 place your customers search, right? Yes, there's Yelp. Yes, there's Angie's List. Yes, there's other like directories in whatever niche you're in, but regardless, Google is number 1. And so we definitely need to be thinking about it. We need to be playing with it. And at the end of the day, local service ads come up first, right? They're the first thing that comes up. They're the most dominant result. Obviously, Google is putting more emphasis on this side of the equation. And so we can't sleep on it. We need to understand it. We need to help our clients understand it. We need to help them leverage it so they can get better lead flow, better results, and more growth within their business. Again, there's no higher intent prospect, right? You can run Facebook ads, but when someone's looking on Facebook, they're not searching for the service your customer provides, right? You might be able to get some leads from that, but they're not that high intent. Versus when they went to Google and they searched, in my case, for a plumber in Dallas or for drain cleaning services in Orlando, they have a problem that they're looking to solve right at that moment. And that's why it's if it's the number one result and it's the number one intent that we can find them customers with, we need to be paying attention to it. And so you got to have a plan. You got to have a plan to win with local service ads for yourself and for your clients. Where's it active? At this point, it's active everywhere in the United States, all of North America, and I'm sure it's starting to dribble out into international territories as well. And it's really impacted the search results, right? It used to be you would run a search and you would see all organic listings with some Google ads on the sidebar, and then Google prioritized the paid listings. So you had the paid listings in the organic, and then you had the organic in the map. And today, we've got local service ads up at the top. Then we've got paid ads, so this kind of changes over time, and then we've got the map and the organic listings. Again, I'm an advocate. If we're going to help our clients generate more leads and more sales, we want to play and win in all of these categories, but we definitely want to play and win with the number one place that your customers are looking, the number one result that comes up, and that's local service ads or Google guaranteed. The way it works is pretty simple, right? You've got to complete the local service ads application. A lot of times your clients will have already done this, right? They will have already set up local service and be like, I'm all set. No, right? There's optimization to be done. There's management to be done, which I'll be talking about throughout the course of this video. But you got to, if they haven't done it, you're going to help them complete the application. Google's going to want to run some background checks. In home services, they're going to want to see that they're licensed. In legal, they're going to want to see they're actually an attorney. Like, there's very specific background requirements that have to be met. And so that's license checks, background checks. They actually have a company that does a full background review of the owner of the business. Ideally, you're going to do it with the main owner of the business, and sometimes they're going to want you to do the employees as well, the technicians as well, the team members as well. Now, once approved, and once the client has a green light to play in Google Local Service Ads, there you're going to have to basically pay on a per lead basis for the leads that people dial in local service ads. And what we're seeing in plumbing is somewhere between $25 and $45 per lead. Different for legal, different for healthcare, but the fact is it's going to be a manageable cost per lead that we see is typically less than what you're paying on a Google Ads, right? If you think about for every click, it's whatever, $17, $18, $100, and then for every click that gets to the site, 30, 40% convert into a lead. Usually the cost per lead from Google Ads is higher than what we're seeing on local service ads. So that's an important thing for you to know as you kind of introduce this to your client base. And then the way it works, once it's set up, it's optimized, you've got an option to set your max bid or to set your budget, right? Which is basically, look, I'll spend $100 a day and let's see how many leads we get. And you want to think about this, you want to play with this with the client, and or you can say, hey, you know what, I'll be a little bit more aggressive. I'll pay more per lead. You can set a maximum lead cost per bid, which might prioritize your client in the results. The way they're charged, you set a weekly budget. If it's $2,000 per month, that's $500 per week. That means you got $71 per day. If it costs you $35 per day, you're going to get a certain amount of leads, and then you're going to come out of the rotation. And then you're going to get a certain amount of leads, and you're going to come out of the rotation. But Google does a pretty good job managing this budget so that you don't overspend. And you're going to get a different number of leads day to day, but you're not going to spend more than the weekly budget that you set up for your client. So you can confidently say, what's the monthly? Okay, then let's break that down by week and feel confident you're not going to overspend that weekly budget. In our case, usually what we find is we want to increase the budget so we can get more throughput. We can get more attention on behalf of the client, especially if it's the lower cost per lead than other opportunities. Might as well max it out and go full out. And then you do have the opportunity to dispute the leads. And this is an area where you can come in as the agency. You can help them figure out what the budget is, where it makes sense to increase that budget modifier. And you can also say, hey, look, you're probably too busy to dispute the leads. You don't have somebody listening to these, rating the outcomes. Our team can come in and you can put a VA or a team of VAs on this and help them manage it so they get better outcomes with it. So you're not going to pay, the client's not going to pay if it was a solicitation, if it was spam, if it was outside the location where they're based, or if it was a service they don't provide, right? So if whatever you set up their profile as, if it's coming outside that area, you can protect them and actually make sure that those leads that they're getting are qualified and they're useful. Feedback we get from our clients: lower cost per lead than pay-per-click, higher quality leads than Home Advisor. You're still going to get shoppers, right? It's like anybody in any industry is like, oh man, they were just shopping. They were calling 6 or 7 different companies. They were kicking the tire, so to speak. You're going to get some of that, but they're looking on Google. Their intent is much higher than if they went to like Thumbtack or Home Advisor or one of these other services where they're trying to get 6 or 7 bids. So super good results. Like we're in almost every case, when we get a client set up, we get the right budget configured, and we play all of the game the way that Google wants us to, we're getting a great return on investment for the spend that we put in place with local service ads. I really believe this is a no-brainer for you as an agency to implement on behalf of your clients for a number of reasons. Number one, it's going to show up at the top, right? I kind of beat this with a dead horse. The fact is, local service ads come up first. No reason you shouldn't be helping your clients manage this at the highest level possible. They're only going to pay on a per lead basis, lower cost per lead than pay-per-click, higher quality than like the lead buying services, whatever it is in your industry. In ours, it's Home Advisor and Thumbtack. For you, it may be eLocal or something like that. And you've got the ability to modify the budget and kind of configure it as you go. And so as an agency owner, if you're thinking, you know what, I get what local service ads is, I've thought about it before, but I don't really know how to charge for it, I don't know how to configure it. I'm going to be doing a deep dive training on this. Not just like the idea about local service ads, but a deep dive on how to set it up, how to bill for it, how to turn it into a profit center or a client retention play for your agency. So if that's interesting for you, type in local service ads training or LSA training, and I will invite you to that training where I'm going to go deep on exactly how to make this a service offering that you can implement. In our agency, we sell it standalone. We also sell it as a add-on for existing client base, saying we're doing all of this stuff for you. For a little bit more, we're going to listen to the calls. We're going to rate the outcomes. We're going to optimize the budget. And it's not like you're just taking money for nothing. You're actually going to have to do things that need to be done that generate better results, more leads, and more growth for your client. So if that sounds good, type LSA training here in the comments. I'll get you the details. Hopefully you got some new insights and ideas on this. If nothing else, you're a little bit more aware about how local service ads works. You're also more aware that this is something that you don't need to just let the client run with, but you can get involved and help. So if you got value, hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe. This video was more about delivering results for your clients, but on this channel, I'm talking about how to land clients, deliver world-class results, retain the clients that you have at the highest level possible, and scale so that you can make more money, have more freedom, and have a bigger impact. So that's it for today. LSA training in the comments if you want more on this topic, and I'll talk to you soon.